Hello, FEB, and all the poets and blossoms out there, and to all our viewers worldwide. A pleasant early fresh morning from the Philippines, and welcome to our blossoming show, the MEBS, the Mother Eagle Blossom Show. We have this morning, but his night in there, a medical doctor from South Africa. He did his
Botswana.
primary and secondary schooling in Botswana. He went on to study medicine at the University of Melbourne, Australia. He's practicing medical doctor specializing in clinical research. He is currently focusing in HIV AIDS research in children, and he specifically working on HIV AIDS cure research. And he has recently published his first journal article in the Journal of Clinical Infectious Disease. He's a Christian who believes in Jesus Christ and God. His favorite Bible verses are Psalm uh, chapter 46, verse 10, and First Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 to 13. These two Bible verses are the inspiration behind his growth and journey as a spirit poet. My dear viewers, all the poets out there who are viewing us, join me in welcoming Dr. Kenneth Maswabi. Hello, Doctor. How are you?
Yes, how are you? How are you, Helen? I'm fine. I'm very, very happy to be here today.
I'm fine here. It's 5 o'clock in the morning here. What time is it in yours there?
Okay, so around 11 o'clock in the
Oh my
evening.
God, sorry for, you know, having you late to sleep because of this interview.
Yes, I'm very, very happy to be here right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, are you used to sleep late?
Yes, I'm used to sleeping late. Normally I sleep between 11 and 12. So yeah.
That's right. So, um, when did you find yourself inclined to write a poetry?
Okay. Yes, it's a good question because um, this life, there are many things that we do from our childhood to adulthood. There are many things that you can go into. But now the
Yeah.
question is, how come you you started writing poetry? For me, poetry, I didn't actually study poetry at school. Poetry just came to me, and I started because I was like a silent person by nature. So in my silence, I started having these moments of poetry where now some words just wanted to come out. And um, that's how first I didn't understand it. So it took some time, especially busy doing a medical degree, was really busy. So you don't get a lot of silent times. So by then I was not writing a lot when I was doing my degree. But when I finished and started working, I thought I started having more time to myself. And that's when that voice came back again and started just conversing with me and telling me these words. Actually, I was very, I would say I'm poor at languages. So I didn't know how it was going to go through. But somehow, if you believe in your spirit, if you're in your inner being, everything is possible. Everything is possible. You just have to believe that you can do it. So
Yes,
poetry
that's
started
true.
coming out, and I started writing. And with practice, I became better. And the language is not mine; is the language of the spirit. And I'm just the listener who interprets and tells the world what the spirit is talking about.
Wow, that's so beautiful. It's you're sharing me or to all our viewers your experience about spirituality in my first question. Because you have a tranquil aura and so very peaceful being, as we can see to you now. Is that your nature since your childhood? Is that your nature, that you are
Okay. Yes. Yes.
you're so peaceful being?
Yes, for me, I believe we are spirit beings. From my childhood, I have not like changed in the inside. I'm the same person that was there in the beginning when I was born. I'm the same person today. I'm not changed by life's experiences and by achievements and all these expectations and identities. You see, those things are a bit detached from myself, my inner being. I think that is the spirituality part of it. And this poetry for me is pure spirituality. It's nothing else but spirituality.
Yeah, that's right. So no one influenced you to be such a spiritual person. Neither
Yes,
your parents or
um,
someone, some one person that influenced you, that enlightened
I'll,
you.
I'll say my grandmother because that's the person who took me to church when I was very young, and that's the only time that I really attended church on a every Sunday when I was
Okay.
young. So I think I had a lot of that experience when I was young. Yes.
Okay. So meaning when you were a child, you know, you have you are being influenced by your grandmother, and yeah, so
Yeah.
the spirit maybe stays with you.
Yes, yes, I believe so. Um, I believe I
Yeah.
got to connect with the spirit from an early age. I didn't understand it myself. It's something that
Yes,
just
yes.
happened. I was just like a normal child, like anyone, but I was a bit more silent. Um, I was not as active and playful as many kids. So I think
Oh,
that was the spirituality part of it. Yes.
wow. So do you know how to sing, Dr. Kenneth?
Well, singing is one of my ways. I can't sing. Totally, I can't sing. That's one. It's a no for me.
Because usually I know that people from Africa or Africans, are very good in singing.
Yeah. We have a lot of people who knows how to sing, but unfortunately for me, like I said, I'm a silent person. So with silence,
Yeah.
it
You
cannot
love
be singing.
silence. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Can you share with us one of your favorite poems, or about spirituality?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just recite one of my poem that I
Okay.
recently
You
wrote.
can read even two poems because I really love to, it's different.
Okay.
I can somehow relate that.
This poem actually is called On My Way Back
Okay, okay, okay.
because just to explain a bit, on my way back, it means that as I experience life, I come out from myself and I interact with life. But there has to be some time where I go back into myself. So this poem is talking about that experience of going back into yourself. So it's called
Okay,
On My
okay,
Way Back.
okay. Okay, okay.
It, in my
Sure, you can
human
go on.
capacity, in my human capacity, I'm as inflatable as a balloon. capable of being stuffed with the contents of life, filled with excitement and all sorts of desires. I can be deflated as well, extinguished of all my joy, blanketed with sorrow. I can reach the valley of sadness and be a desolate place. But I try to find my way back home to the realm of nothingness. And on my way home, I have to gather my body, mind, and soul. I have to consume a lot of silence and be empty of all acquired knowledge. On my way home, I have to undress myself of life and be the vast emptiness of existence. I have to occupy the vessel of nothingness and be the solitary fiber of existence that stretches from the beginning to the end of life, that is swallowed by death across dimensions into the dimensionless realm. On my way home, time and space are dissolved and nothingness inhabits the core of my being. Like silence, I'm nowhere and everywhere. I'm only awaiting the arrival of poetry when I'm manifested on the canvas of life. As a poem, I'm totally submerged in the fabric of existence. So that is my first poem. There is
Yes,
a lot
yes.
of spirituality infused in that poem.
In your silence, you're bursting your emotion that you are detaching your spirit from your body, and you came back home like that.
Yeah, the home is the spirit. Um, the home is within. So
Yeah,
I come out from myself into the world to experience the world. But then I have to go back into myself and
to
be
the realm
inside
of
my home.
spirit, to the
Yes,
realm of spirit. So that's
yes,
it.
the realm of the spirit.
Yes. So, in your silence, you have talked a lot by your spirit. You're
Yes,
silent, but you talk a lot. You give a lot of, it is very inspiring to other people, even in your silence, because
yes.
you have expressed yourself.
That's what I hope many people will come to understand, because all of us have got this inner being that for some people they have neglected their inner being. For some
Yeah,
people they don't understand how to access themselves in the
that's true. How to
in
connect
the inner self, how to connect or reconnect with
our
themselves.
inner being.
Yes, but it's because of our busy schedules and busy lives and all the uncertainties, the fears,
That's true.
and that really are causing a lot of turbulence in our lives. And we need to just take a break and come back home inside, go back and refresh and get reinvigorated so that you can now come out again and do better.
Yes. We need to contemplate. We need to detach ourselves from worriness, because we are being worried with many things in this world, immaterial
Yes,
things, in this worldly things. But we fail to connect our inner being,
yes,
which
that
is
is
the
the problem.
spirit. Now
Yes,
I learned from you. So can you read the second poem?
okay. The second poem again is a poem that talks about spirituality. Like I said, my poetry is infused with spirituality. So this one says, spirituality is like farming. For those who
Okay.
knows farming, they will understand what farming is all about, the work that you need to do to produce your goods, your plants. So this one, it says spirituality is like farming.
Okay.
It, it is an art, a full-time job, and a sacrifice, not to be confused with a hobby. You have to find your true self first and accept that you are an empty field that needs to be continuously cleared of any debris, Fear, hopelessness, and uncertainty are the debris. Selfishness and wickedness are the weeds that can choke your crops and pollute your soil. Like a canvas that awaits the painter, you have to be unfolded and displayed. You should be free from any specks of logic or any acquired knowledge, no identities, attachments, and expectations. All material achievements are meaningless. There is no place for ego. Ego is a poisonous chemical that will kill your crops. It is the substance of being that needs to be cultivated. And silence or stillness is the atmosphere that brings rain. The substance of being is a rich, fertile ground. Nothingness is grown here. This is the template for everything. Peace, humility, compassion, hope, kindness, and love are all crops in this sacred farm. Unconditional love is the most important plant because it is a source of peace, hope, and happiness. It is capable of feeding millions of people. It has medicinal properties and can heal all diseases. It is also used to bind relationships into bundles of joy. Unconditional love is the most beautiful flower, decorating the substance of being with its amazing petals and colors. It is the substance of unmatched beauty that attracts angels to come and watch it and marvel at its unimaginable radiance. It is a source of the perfect light that illuminates all of eternity. Above all, unconditional love is the substance of God.
Very beautiful. I observed that you're just using a very simple words, but it sings to my heart. What a beautiful harvest if you're a farmer that you're cultivating yourself, you're cultivating uh to form your being you through your inner being, through understanding of a spiritual understanding. And it's very good to harvest the beautiful crop, the beautiful blossoms of flowers from that being a farmer.
Yes. So
Very
from this poem,
beautiful.
you can understand that by cultivating yourself, you will
Yeah.
get different crops. Different crops will start growing. One crop is called peace. You'll get peace inside.
Yes.
One crop is called gentleness. You get gentleness inside. You get humility inside. You get compassion. But the most important crop out of all those crops is unconditional love, because that is the plant that will feed everyone. That is the plant that will heal everyone. That is the plant that will connect you to God. So you need that plant in your field as a farmer of the spirit.
Love is above all.
Love is above all. And that is what First Corinthians taught me in the Bible. First
Yes.
Corinthians, like I said, First Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 to around 13.
the,
They
the
taught me about
expression of
that.
love.
Yes, they taught me about that love. And
Yes.
this is the love that I think every human being should be really be hungry to get to that love.
Yes, that's true. I've read that last night because I want to know. I want to know the Corinthians 13 verses 4 to 13, right? Is that right? First
First
Corinthians.
Corinthians
Yeah,
13,
First
verses 1 to
Corinthians.
13 again.
Yes. So meaning of love. I understand if you're in the same spirit, you express the same um attitude, you express the same feeling, and there will be no contradiction of that if you are having one spirit. That
Very
is
true.
why peace comes out, solidarity comes out because of that spirit, one spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That is the spirit that we as human beings have. We all have that spirit. It's only that we can get with our busy lives and material things, we can get disconnected from that spirit. But it's available to everyone. You just need to have some time alone and just be in silence. Try not to think about your timelines and your busy
Yes,
schedules and
yes, because
your
that will
other
consume us. I
expectations.
experienced that
Yes,
also.
yes. So
Because sometimes you are
um,
victims of the mundane of this world.
yes, of course, we are nowadays. That's why even in the medical field, you'll find that we have more diseases coming out, like depression and all other
Yes,
mental
that's
health.
true.
It's because we are now more dependent on our minds than on the whole of our being.
Yes,
Yes. So when our minds fail, we have nowhere to go. So I think
that's
that is
true.
the problem. Yes.
And that is the source of depression because we do not know how to
Yes.
connect. We do not know how to balance ourselves
We don't know how to balance
because we
ourselves.
are more dependent on matter in this world, what
Yes.
this world can offer to us.
Yes. And if your expectations are not met, you become
Yes,
it becomes a problem for you.
that's true. That's true. So those poems of yours were both amazing. I can feel the essence of your writing. I can feel the spirit working on you. It's
Thank you
very
very much.
beautiful. So
Thank
now,
you very much.
Dr. Kenneth, being a clinical research medical doctor, how are you able to contribute to the situation today with regards to the pandemic in your area, in your country?
Okay. As a medical doctor, I think we are both fortunate and unfortunate because we are at the forefront of the fight against any pandemic, including COVID-19 disease. So we happen to be the people who have the information, who happen to be interacting with people, trying to get clarity to them so that they can understand this
Yes,
disease and how to prevent it. So as
yes,
a medical doctor, I think that is our contribution to be there for our either patients or everyone who is have access to us, to give them information, proper information. You know, nowadays we are in this era of misinformation, and everyone has access to the internet. They can read for themselves, and some of this information is so technical that now there is that problem of misinformation. But people need to have access to good advice and good
yes,
clinical
that's true.
information. Yes.
That's true. So that's beautiful. You are fortunate, right? You are fortunate that you can be able to explain people. That's part of being of service to the people.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Service to the people is something that is close to my heart, and for me, that's why I really enjoy medicine. It's just being there for people at their weakest point and trying to give them hope. As a medical doctors, it's not that we are like magicians,
Yes.
but we have to bring ourselves to the table.
Yes. Yes.
We have to bring even your spirituality to the table so that
That's true.
you maximize the hope that you can give to your patient. And you find that that's, I think, what makes a good doctor is the person who can connect with someone to a level where they can reawaken them, give them hope, and give them that spirit of fighting and recovering.
That's true. Because if you are a spiritual person, do you believe that you love to empty yourself for others? Because you don't love material things. You want to serve.
Yeah. Like I said, being the spirit is all about unconditional love, and the person
Yeah,
who's in front
yeah,
of you,
that's
you
true.
love them
Yeah,
so much. You love them so much that you see yourself in them. When they are suffering, when they are in pain, you see yourself in them, and you want to help them to get out of that situation.
That's true. So I really love this discussion. It refreshes my spirit also.
No, thank you. Thank
Yeah, and
you very
I
much.
believe it refreshes also other spirits who are watching.
That's my hope. That's my
Yeah,
hope for people to
yeah,
reconnect with themselves and know that human beings are very beautiful. They are very beautiful. They have so much resource inside. So they
yes.
just need to tap inside that inner being, and they'll accomplish many things.
That's very nice. So, do you have, speaking of pandemic, what's the status of your country now since the
Okay.
COVID-19 started and until now?
Yes. My country, Botswana, it's maybe fortunate because of the small population. Our population here is at around 2.5 million. So it's a
Okay.
small population, and the country is a bit, is normally is compared to France. They say the size of Botswana is that of France. So with a small population and a very vast area, we find that
Oh,
we were not affected by COVID for the first few
yeah.
months. We had
Yes.
fewer numbers, but because COVID has got waves, it comes in waves. So later
Yes.
on,
Yes. Yes.
we were caught up by, I think, the third or so wave hit us very, very bad. And our numbers now started growing, and we started experiencing the full spectrum of COVID-19, including deaths and hospitalizations and very, very sick people. Losing a lot of people in a very short time is really traumatic to the society, to individuals. So that we did experience COVID-19 disease as just like any other country.
Yeah. Very minimal, and that's good. Love to know that. So, do you have a poem related to the situation today? I mean, with regards to the pandemic, can you read that to us if you have?
Okay. This poem was inspired by COVID-19 disease, and it's
Okay.
called The Disruption. This is not an academic discussion cut short. This is a pandemic excursion into our daily lives. The election of a humongous pathogen into the office of human affairs, the dissolution of a harmonious society. It is the demarcation of our minds into sections of peace and fear, the demonstration of hope and hopelessness, the dissection of the human psyche into slices of sanity and insanity, the creation of toxic environments and safe havens, the action of disrupting the human physical and mental exuberances, the insertion of spirituality into our daily routine and timelines, the epistle of the darkest chapter in human history, the epic of sorrow, death, and resilience, the final episode of death by suffocation. The disruption is an onslaught on mankind's constructed reality, the tearing down of the great billboard of human progress, the systematic destruction of a formidable foe, which is ego. The disruption is not the final battle between pathogens and men. It is the final chapter in the book of humanity as a divided race. It is the creation of a new human base that share the same scars. This is the basis of the next episode of Love, Consciousness, and Humanity. The lifting of the darkest curtain on the window of life is imminent. The rays of hope are finally on our doorstep. The illuminated path of light is a whole new kind of experience. So this is the poem I wrote during COVID-19.
That's fantastic. You remain still behind the panic of humankind.
I think that is the idea. For me, if they get the message that everyone can get home today is that they should reconnect with themselves, with
Yes.
their spirit, their inner being, And that is your home. That is where you should be coming out every day when you go to work. That's where you should be going back every now and then to refresh and to polish yourself again for the life experience.
That's true. That's true. This happened now is also, awakening for everyone. The
Yes,
pandemic, yes,
that's what this poem is talking about, is that this pandemic might look bad, but it has so many elements of spirituality in it.
yes, that's true.
It has driven a lot of people to try to question science. It has driven a lot of people to question themselves, their belief systems, their coping mechanisms. So this is a cleansing of some sort.
Yes,
So
cleansing.
we are
That's
now
the right thing.
starting to go back to ourselves. You know, with social distancing, more people were living alone, and they were forced to meet themselves again and again. And this on itself is spiritual wise, it's a cure to yourself, because you are
That's true.
meeting yourself and you are reconnecting with yourself, your fears and
That's true.
your uncertainties are there every day.
Excuse me, Dr. Kenneth. Excuse me, because they don't know that I'm having an interview because it's very morning here. I
Okay,
feel there's
it's
someone
fine, go
knocking the
for it.
door. Sorry for
Yes,
that.
go for it.
I'm sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
Where we are. So very nice, very nice. It's a very, informative and at the same time inspiring. So now, how did you feel that your spirit goes with the breeze and transverses here in the Philippines and other parts of the world through this platform?
Oh, I'm so blessed to be here today. I'm a new poet. I don't consider myself as any like established poet. So I'm very excited to be here for you to give me this platform to meet the world and talk to the world, enjoy poetry together, share
Yes,
spirituality together, and
yes,
just have a good life experience.
yes, very true. And I am so thankful with Dr. Gita because she actually mentioned you to me. And then she
Yes.
said that, he has a very beautiful poem. And I tried to check on your wall. And I really love the poems that you posted on there. So I got an interest to connect with you because you are a kind of poet that has to be shown to the world.
Oh, thank you
Yeah,
very much for these beautiful words. Dr. Gita connected to me, and I was really blessed to have her connect me with you. Now I'm even more blessed to be connected to you and to be chatting today. I think there is a lot that we are learning, and we still need to learn about ourselves and
that's
about life in general.
very nice. And this is a very warm discussion, full of spirit. And I feel the love, the unconditional love. I am very much refreshed with your words. And
Thank
sometimes we
you.
need that, especially when you are facing some, burdens in your life.
Yes, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
Really appreciate
because
it.
we cannot avoid, although that you are saying that you are a survivor. I've been a lot of things and I survived, but as human, if you are not detaching yourself from the world, if you're not going deeper to your inner being, you will be still disturbed. You will be still disturbed. Yeah, that's true. And we cannot, we have to face it. We have to face it. But this is a wonderful thing that we are connected, because you give a lot of people uh, an inspiration, a way, a path, where the
Yeah.
avenue to where to go in this, you know, in this situation, in this time that we are all worry of many things in life that cause this
Yes.
depression, and cause you know, feel some people lost hope already,
Yes,
so
I know.
they forgot to
It's
connect their inner
yes.
being.
Spirituality is part of us. We need to reconnect with ourselves, and there is a lot that we can learn. For me, I trained as a medical doctor. I didn't know poetry, but just by connecting with myself, I'm writing a lot of poems on a daily basis. These are stuff that I don't think they don't come from my thoughts. When every day when I wake up, I don't say I'm going to write about this or that. It is
Yes,
just going to be activated or triggered by something that I'll come across, or I'll read, or my emotions. Something will trigger it, and the poem will just come pouring in. And my
yes,
job is just to capture it and translate it on paper. Yes.
yes,
So that is the
yes.
beauty of poetry.
I can relate that, because many times also, maybe I'm not just aware, but many times I learned that, you know, uh, sometimes I cannot believe that is is that me writing this poem, because maybe maybe you are enlightened by the spirit to do such inspirational poetry in order to touch other, because the spirit cannot talk. It should, there should be an instrument to carry the spirit to other people, to enlighten
Yes.
other people. Yeah.
Yes, very, very well, well said, and very true.
Yeah. So do you have any question? do you have do you have something to ask me?
Okay.
Because this is my platform. As you know, I have
Yes,
told you that you can ask me
yes.
questions if you want.
We today we have talked a lot about poetry and spirituality, and for you, from your own personal experiences, what have you? Do you see any connections between poetry and spirituality or consciousness?
I really believe there is a connection, because me, I don't consider myself good in writing. As I have just told you, I realized when my spirit commands. Actually, I have a poem like that. When my spirit commands, even that I am on board in a very noisy vessel, if my spirit commands, I can write. I don't
Nice.
find distraction,
It's poetry
because
already.
you are spirited to write. And I cannot
Yes.
even believe that, where did I get this word? So I can relate what you were saying just a while ago, that
Yes.
you are just an instrument. You'll just be surprised that you have written that poem. So
Of
I
course,
feel
that's
that,
the
yeah, I feel that it was not me. Something compelling spirit dictates me in writing poem. That is
yes,
how the spirit connects me with my poetry, and with you
very true.
also.
Very
So
true.
there's always connection between poetry and the spirituality and consciousness.
Yes, yes. Most people will ask themselves, do you feel anxiety that for the next poem that you are going to write? Do you ever feel any anxiety or any fear that you won't have any poetry to write?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did
Um,
you?
yes, it's a question that do you ever feel any anxiety about writing a poem or any fear that you won't have a poem tomorrow to write about?
No, when I write a poetry, I'm not planning to write. In any
Yes,
time, it will just come. In any
yes,
time, you know, I cannot say that I will write a poem this evening. But I remember that when, I do something, there is something in ourselves that there is a bursting emotion that wants to come out. That we are
yes,
like, we cannot be certain until you write the poem.
yes,
Yeah, you cannot be certain. It's bothering you. It's bothering you. There is, since we are talking about spirituality, there's a spirit. There's a spirit that will push you to write. So
yes.
I don't have any plan to write, but it will just come in any time, in any time.
Very nice, very nice. I think that is the beauty of poetry. If you write from your spirit, you don't have to plan anything. You don't have to say what topic am I writing about today.
That's
So you just have to listen to the spirit, and the spirit will give you a topic and will give you a poem to give to the people. So that is the beauty of spirit of poetry.
Yeah, because I understand now while talking with you that um, poetry comes when you are dictated by the spirit. Sometimes we are not aware, but the spirit uses us to
Yes,
to connect,
yes.
and yeah. So
And that spirit is us. It's not that we are separate from the spirit. It is us in our deeper
it
sense
is in
of
our
being.
inner being. Yeah.
Yes, in our deeper sense of being, we are spirit people. So we are just reconnecting with ourselves, and we allow our inner selves to drive us. It's not a separate entity from you. It's only that you have reconnected yourself to
So try
yourself.
to imagine that we are so powerful within. Some
Yes,
people
yes.
did not realize, there's no realization that there is a very powerful power within you, that you are
Yes,
not just connected into it.
yes, yes. That's why many spirituality or religions will say have some time alone, spend some time in silence, be still. Those things are very important in life because they get you to connect with yourself and to know your spirit. And once you are reconnected with your spirit, a lot of stuff will happen in your life. Very, very, very beautiful stuff will come into your life. You will have peace for starters.
Surprisingly,
Yes, you have.
I think so.
Yes,
I think so. I remember my poem, but I remember my poem. The title is Scratch because I start from nothing. I started
yes,
from nothing and I am nobody. But then maybe I just didn't have a realization, but it's more clearer that you explained it to me, that because of that spirit that I have connected to myself. I have connected with myself. I can do things possible. That is what
yes,
I can do things possible. Because if we are just, in this mundane world, if we depend on that, I think nothing will happen. Nothing will connect you. Maybe you can be rich. You can be rich because of your knowledge. Some will become rich because of their gained knowledge. But for me, knowledge is only knowing. But it is your wisdom. It is the wisdom who knows to use your knowledge. You will know how to use your knowledge.
yes,
So
yes, very true. Yes,
what you have explained to me, there's a realization that, wow, um, maybe I just you know discover it to myself, but there's no one who talk. to me like that.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. I'm happy to be that person. Uh,
Yeah,
yes, we need, with consciousness, they say there are levels of consciousness. So we need to awaken to ourselves and to have a realization that actually this life is just a little bit or a little part of the bigger life that we have as spirit human beings.
that's true.
So we can't be having hatred, having all the issues between people. It's just a small part of the entire life that we are going to continue to exist in.
You don't
So
have big luggage in your heart that you feel heavy. You are so
yeah,
light
you
because
don't have
you
to
are not.
carry anything because you are
Yes,
going this life has no ending. So if you carry a lot in you, you'll get tired. You'll get tired.
yes,
And that's
that's
why
true.
many people now are facing so many challenges in themselves because they get tired. You get tired from carrying fear. You get tired from carrying all the burdens of life. So if you learn how to experience life and at the same time be yourself, be your inner being, you'll find that the burdens of life are not actually have no access into your inner being. They are outside. They are only experienced by your outer being.
So poets or not poets have to connect themselves to their inner beings. Now that you
Yes,
know.
yes, yes.
there's no
Yes,
there's no need to, to have a fare, to have a money in order to travel to that
yeah.
inner being because it is within you.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Many people think happiness is found somewhere in exotic places, but happiness starts from within. So if you have happiness within you, you will find that you are happy wherever you are, whatever situation or circumstances that you find yourself in. You will always be having that positive attitude.
Happiness comes within. I love that. I want to make it an acrostic poetry. Happiness comes within. I have an idea because sometimes we lack of idea anymore because I have a contest there in the Passion of Poetry. And I am thinking what theme I'm going to have this coming week. So that's it. Happiness comes from inner being.
Yes.
Anyway, is there any more question? We still
Um,
have a
I,
lot of time.
I think I have to say it. You are a very positive person, and I think that is a sign of happiness already in you. It just comes out. It's bubbly and a very beautiful personality. Yes,
Thank you, thank you. That's actually my nature.
yes, very nice,
Yeah,
very
that's
good.
my nature. I don't, whether in on cam or outside, that's me. That's
Nice,
me.
nice. I
So
mean, it's beautiful. That's what life is all about. We need to have that oozing beauty coming from within. Yes,
yeah, as you have said, the state of being. Is that right? My favorite state of being.
yes,
Yeah, because I love, you know, I seek happiness or I love being happy than have being rich because happiness can be bought by money. So,
yes.
and I think God wants us to be happy in this life.
Of course, yes, of course.
Yes,
Everyone desires to be happy and have a
yes,
happy life. Unfortunately, the way we understand ourselves, we base our happiness on other things, and we end up not being happy because you don't have to have anything to be happy. It's something that is just should be coming from within, and you enjoy it.
yeah.
But we have attached it to so many different things, so money and wealth and travel and relationships and everything. But happiness should be coming from within you, and it's a gift from God.
Very beautiful learning from you. So I learned a lot, and I love this discussion. This is very, we cannot say unique because there are a lot of discussion like this, but I love this being, we're able to touch the world by this, discussion. And it's going international. You, as I have said, you transverse here in the Philippines and so to other countries in any part of the world.
Yes,
So
we are blessed. This moment we are blessed to be here and to be talking to the world, just sharing them our spirit with them so that we can reconnect with each other. You are very far away and I'm here, but we are still
yes,
connected and we still
yes,
can
that's true.
feel the same spirit. And that's what life is all about.
You mentioned just a while ago that about poetry, about my poetry when I talked to you before we just last night I called you. Uh, there's some question on, you want to ask me about poetry. Is that,
Okay, yeah.
yeah?
Um, What is that poem that stands out above all of them? The poem that you have written that you always look to and say, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I have. Actually, this is my favorite one and favorite for others also who know me. I want to share this. Actually, I have read this poem in my interviews in here in the Philippines, in the Filipino Poets and Blossoms, but you are the first time maybe that I am going to recite this one. I have shared this to Dr. Gita because actually she was worried about me during the time that something happened that my interview for her was approaching. So she was worried about me and I read to her. Oh no, I sent her this poem through Messenger,
Oh,
but
nice.
I did not recite it in the interview. Now
Okay.
I'll check. Okay. Okay, the title is Not Far from Our Discussion.
Okay,
Nothing
nice.
impossible in the heaven beneath.
Oh, wow.
Because I want to read this because I want to empower some women.
Yes.
Sorry. My children are my golden treasure. Bringing back my thoughts to my yesteryears, my story began when I was a teenage mother. Through breastfeeding, I nurtured my first son till no milk from me I could squeeze upon. I wish to feed him nutrients he essentially needs to abound. I lacked to provide him. My world seemingly didn't go round. It bled my heart as my purse was thin and empty. Windows were only covered by sacks. That was how petty were we. And nothing could be found in every corner of our dinky shelter. Even tiny ashes of regrets couldn't be found in there. How buried it was representing me. From there, I learned to dream. Though not for me, but for them. I believe it's not late to create a nest for my coming children. Behind that huge mountain, I whispered my wishes for them. At night, as I gazed up the skies, I asked the stars to guide me in heading my way. I wish to be one of them, glittering and sparkling glee. Yes, it was never too late to build my elusive dreams. I heard the whisper of the bees, carried by an optimistic breeze. There will be beautiful days coming ahead. And I was motivated by those dreams. I started to carry sack on my shoulder. I climbed mountains. I shouted, used clothing for sale. I made donuts though I wasn't good enough. House to house, I was selling any stuff, just enough to have fare and offering for a Sunday mass. And I started to pray so intensely. I dazzled myself to the city. I know I could be more than me. My potential was heavy. If they can do, why can't I? I grabbed opportunities knocking on my door. I started to level up and learn for more. I patiently carried my life. I embraced obstacles and strive. My love for my children was simply my inspiration. They energized me behind my tiredness. I could afford to grin and bear behind difficulties. They were the reason why I have to go out rain or shine, as I could not stop dreaming even for a short while. Yet life never stopped teasing me. Tears were entwined in my way. Below the belt, I was being hit. My softness was abused by the wicked. For more, I learned life, and I even learned to write. I worked hard without limit. In my work, I poured my spirit. I gambled myself bravely to the challenge of this world. My journey has never been smooth. I tackled every inch of my worth. Yet I never whined. I continued to walk with faith, come what may. Though I fell and stumbled, it is an arduous part of my path to cross. It had to be that way, yet life was still good. And like a mother eagle, I ventured across the sea. I soared to the highest sky, rising to the great heights. The storm has befallen, but I never been ravaged by my undying courage. Another day, another sunshine. To humanity I have to bind. My guide is my daughter, watching me from heaven. In my womb also she suffered the indescribable pain I have been. Now she's the most amorous angel with her candid cheers. She shielded me with her wings. I am fearless, unafraid to venture my strength to this universe. Nothing impossible in the heaven beneath. Now I savored my own self, and every trial I never told until I could give them that mountain where I started to create my dreams. They are my treasure. My golden treasure is my five loving children, six including the one in heaven. They are preparing my exquisite crown as I am their endearing queen.
Wow. Yes, it's beautiful. It's an epic. I mean, it covers all of life. And that's what poetry is all about. It's
Yes.
hope, it's dreams, it's sorrow,
Dreams,
it's
faith, that you can
everything.
survive.
Yes, you can. That is life. You know, you have to. Poetry is like you are telling your story again, and you are telling it to yourself and also to others at the same time. And by living that story, by telling that story, you become even stronger in yourself.
Yes,
You have that strong connection with the spirit.
thank
That's why you say glittering like the stars. You see yourself as big as the cosmos and as huge as those dreams. So
that's
that is the beauty of poetry, and there is a lot of spirituality in that, and
or
I
we can
loved
say
it.
that, poetry is also documenting our spirituality, because we're
Yes,
right. It will be,
yes,
it will not
yes.
be vanished.
It's a journey. It's a journey of life, and we are documenting it as we go. The feelings, the situations, whatever is happening in our lives and in other people's lives and in the world, has to be documented through poetry.
Yeah, that is poetry. So,
Yeah.
very beautiful morning in mine here. And I think it's getting, midnight in you there. So we
Yes.
won't take
Yes.
it so long. Thank you for
All
your
right.
time. And,
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for your time, Dr. Kenneth. And you speak your spirituality through your silence in this platform. How can be
No.
silence speaks kind of this, you're
Yeah.
silent, but you're not lonely. You're
Yes. Yes.
alone with yourself.
Yes. You are alone with yourself. You are not lonely. Yes.
We are not lonely.
That is the way of the spirit. You are not alone. You can never be lonely. There is a lot that you are always learning and you are always enjoying. There is a lot of peace. There is a lot of happiness. There is unconditional love that is coming from within. And you are just loving the moment and enjoying life.
It is a kind of joy within,
Yes.
with
Thank
peace
you
of
very much.
mind and heart. So thank you
Yes.
so much for your time, and I hope that this will be the start of our spiritual friendship.
Thank you very much. I think it's a good start, and I really enjoyed chatting today. It was a beautiful, and that's why I have the energy right now. It's because you're so bubbly and very positive, and it's just infectious, and it comes into me as well. So I'm very
No.
happy to have been here with you today. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you for
Yes.
guesting, and
Okay.
God bless you always.
God bless you as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye, Dr. Kenneth. Bye.
Bye bye.